let's get to Peter Doocy about this. House Republicans are demanding the Justice Department turn over transcripts and recordings of President Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur.
This all comes after last week's release of Hur's damning report that fueled speculations about Joe Biden's memory and his ability to serve in the future.
Right. Peter Doocy joins us live from the White House with the details. Peter.
And House Republicans are hoping that Special Counsel Robert Hur did some of the legwork for them for an impeachment inquiry. They are now demanding from the Justice Department the unredacted notes that agents took during their interview with President Biden in October, and they're writing in a letter to the Attorney General the following: Biden may have retained sensitive documents related to specific countries involving his family's foreign business dealings. Today, Congress is going to hear from Tony Bobulinski, a former Hunter Biden associate who wants to know, quote, why is Joe Biden blatantly lying to the American people and the world by claiming that he did not meet with me face to face? He should call his son Hunter and brother Jim, as they can remind him of the facts. All of this is happening as White House officials try to convince the American public that despite an official report laying out significant lapses in the president's memory, he's okay.
When can we talk to the president's doctor, and how come he hasn't been, or they haven't been asked to come out here and talk with us, given the Hur report that challenges the president's mental fitness?
I have said the medical doctor, the president's doctor, is going to do a physical. He's going to, and he has always put forth in the last 2 years a detailed memo on the president's obviously medical physical, and so I'm just going to leave it there.
President Biden made a joke about this yesterday. He was talking at a conference in D.C. and he said, I've been around a long time, quote, I do remember that. And people in the room laughed, a friendly crowd, but it's going to be a heavy lift to convince the 86% of people polled recently who have concerns about his abilities that that joke is funny. Back to you.
And
right.
Peter, I'm looking at Axios, and they're talking about how Republicans are really going to be working the Biden age and memory thing. And in fact, we were talking earlier today about how a number of Republicans would like to hear those audio tapes where the current president talks to his former ghostwriter. But now I understand, apparently, House Republicans want Mr. Hur to actually show up, and they're going to ask him a bunch of questions. If they can't get the audio, let's get the guy.
Right, and it would stand to reason that they probably can get Hur to testify easier than they can get the recording, just because of the amount of classified information that is contained in there.
Okay.
And that's normal for a ghostwriter to have access to classified information?
No.
No. Big problem. Yeah.
Huge problem. He said he read from his notes to the ghostwriter. Mm-hmm. So he never actually showed the notes. That's
Does
what he said.
Does that mean it's in a book somewhere?
Right.
I mean, now it's classified
he's got these little books.
They looked at the book, and there is nothing forbidden. There are no national security secrets in the book. But the ghostwriter knew that he had something that he wasn't supposed to have, because he went and tried to destroy all of the copies that he had as soon as he found out that he had it.
Right. And then he said, I apologize, I've destroyed everything. Do you want to take a look at my hard drive? And they said, of course we do. And they got most of it, not all of it, right, Peter?
Right, and he's not going to be charged. So initially he did something bad, but Robert Hur determined that he meant well coming back around, so he is not going to be charged.
All right, Peter, thank you very much. Live report.
Lawrence?
No one ever gets charged, Lawrence, in the Robert Hur investigation.
That's the deal. No one gets charged. No one gets held responsible. And the White House thinks it's funny that the president can go on the campaign trail and make jokes about it. You got a border being overrun. You got criminals running our street. Yeah. And you got 13 men and women dead because of the president's mistakes. You got another 3 dead just a couple of weeks ago because of the president's incompetence. And they think it's funny.
Well, I tell you what, ever since the Hur report came out last week, and, you know, at that ill-fated press conference where Joe Biden actually reinforced the crotchety old grandpa feeling, you know, it seemed like a lot of people have tried to tag him with that, and then he came out and he seemed quite crotchety. It looks as if now what they're trying to do going forward is the Democrats are saying, okay, we got to reinforce the fact that Joe's going to be okay, and so is Kamala. And so they're apparently, according to the Wall Street Journal now this morning, she was asked a delicate question hanging over the Democratic ticket. Do voters' concerns about President Biden's age mean she can convince them she's ready to serve? She said, I am ready to serve. There's no question about it. Harris responded bluntly. Everyone who sees her on the job, Harris said, walks away fully aware of my capacity to lead, which flies in the face of the object yesterday from Axios that essentially said she had no idea what she was doing.
Right. I just think it's open season right now on this White House.
Right.
I watched Jon Stewart's first show last night, and he played a bunch of surrogates saying how smart he is behind closed doors.
Biden.
And then Joe Biden, and how clear he is and in command. And Jon Stewart said, can I see those tapes?
Yeah.
Because it would be great to see those tapes. And for Democrats and people who lean left or always go after Trump to say that, he went after Trump too, but I think it's pretty significant.
He said, what the F are we doing here? He said, talking about Biden, he couldn't even recall basic things. Jon Stewart back on the air after 9 years.
Right, just on Mondays.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.